Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bloody Biscuits, and this section of Kingdom Hearts is going to be a Ultima Weapon / synthesis guide, which primarily is going to get you the Ultima Weapon. Now, in stuff like Kingdom Hearts 2, you just have to find the recipe for the Ultima Weapon, and then get the materials, and then synthesize it, and you're done. Real simple. Well, it kinda upped the difficulty on Kingdom Hearts 1. What they did was you had to synthesize everything in the synthesis list to even get to the Ultima Weapon, which is number 25 on the list. And then you get the materials to synthesize that, and then you get it. So what could take maybe an hour or two could take maybe up to 5 hours. So just a little warning, if you're gonna try to get the Ultima Weapon, you're gonna have to set some time aside for it because it takes a while. But is it worth it? Kinda. I think it looks pretty damn cool and I like to use it, so that's just me. But yeah, I'm just going through my list of stuff. This is the stuff that I've already synthesized. It says right there, I've created 11. So that means that come on, math skills, come in. 14, I have 14 more materials left to synthesize. But, I do have a list later on in this video for, oh, by the way, this is post-commentary in case you didn't notice. I have a list later on in this video to show every single item, how many items that you need, and where you can find it, from which Heartless and which world they reside in. Okay, tip numero uno, which is number 1, is that you need Lucky Strike. And I'm not just saying, it's recommended, you need it. As the old Spice guy would say it takes 1 bajillion times the time it takes to get all the materials without Lucky Strike than it does with Lucky Strike. Don't even try to do this without Lucky Strike. I mean, if you're gonna do anything, level up to get the ability Lucky Strike, which takes up I think 3 ability points, and I have the levels right there. For the sword, you need to be level 69, lol 69. For the staff, you need to be at level 39, and for the shield, you need to be at level 15 to get Lucky Strike. So get that, and not only that, for Donald and Goofy, you have to equip it with them too. Otherwise, the effect won't be as powerful, so you can get like 3 times the effect instead of 1 with just Sora. So get it with every single person. And now for the giant synthesis list that I compiled for you, so you should totally use it because I wasted maybe a half an hour in order to make this for you. The holy bejesus of a list of synthesis materials that will aid you in your quest for every single material. And it gives you the exact material you need, how many you need, where to find the material, which enemy to get the material from, and where that enemy is located. Basically everything you need to know. And the area, I guess, is like the primary area, but I will be giving out, helpful hints as we go through every single one. And now for the list of all the synthesis items you'll be making. Alright, and here's the list of all the items that you will be making. It's nothing really special. I mean, there's some things you get. Like, the only thing that I probably equipped that I made through synthesis besides the Ultima Weapon was the Crystal Crown. But besides that, maybe elixirs, AP boosts, power boosts. But, other equipment like that you aren't really going to equip. So, this is just a list of everything and what is used to make them. Okay, bye. Okay, so our first area is in the deep jungle where we're able to find bright shards from green requiems. Now, as you saw there, I just got a bright shard because there actually are a couple green requiems in that initial wave. But after that, hold on, let me just, kill the rest of these guys. After that, what you want to do is jump to this top platform, and you will just see tons of green requiems. They will just spawn everywhere. And there's not just one wave. There's like 2 of them. That amounts to like probably more than 10 green requiems. And they do have a higher drop rate. So definitely the best place to get bright shards if you're looking for them. Alright, next up is where we're able to find blaze shards from red nocturnes. And after Hollow Bastion, it is a little difficult to find where these guys are because they kind of, go away from their original spot, which was probably, I don't know, Wonderland. But the best place is in Monstro, and they're basically in, like, every single section. I think maybe Section 1 is a good spot. Section 3 up top in the higher area is a good place where you can find them. They're just, you know, generally everywhere, so you can just, you know, run around and stuff. And there are a few general tips when you're doing synthesis, like where if you want to get certain enemies to spawn back, you need to be at least 2 areas away before you're able to go back to that certain spot, so they'll spawn again. Okay, bye. Hello, and we're back, and I actually do have a spot where you can find 3 materials at once: Frost Shards, Thunder Shards, and Spirit Gems. The Spirit Gems can be found from those air soldiers that I just pummeled to death. Frost Shards can be found from the Blue Rhapsodies, and obviously the Thunder Shards can be found from the Yellow Operas. So, this is a generally good place in Wonderland. I think they might be, you know, in other areas, but in the Bazaar room right here, where you're fighting these guys on, you know, plain area instead of like on the walls or something like that, I think this is generally the best place where you can find all of the materials at once. And tip number 2, well, this isn't a tip, but it's kind of a theory. Use Keyblades that give out critical hits, like, say, Divine Rose or Oathkeeper. Those certain Keyblades give out critical hits, and it's theorized that they give out, they give a better chance, the critical hits give you a better chance of getting synthesis materials. Just a theory, not exactly sure if it works, but it could work. I don't know. And also Trinity Limit is full of critical hits, so if you want to use Trinity Limits, you know, that's fine too, since it has a lot of critical hits, and that might get you a lot more chances synthesis materials. So there's more tips for you, and now I'm going to go back to studying for my chemistry test. Goodbye. Okay, now we have Mithril Shards and Spirit Shards, which can also be found in the somewhat same place in Agrabah. Well, you might be wondering to yourself, well, isn't that where you might get, you know, Blaze Gems from the bandits and the fat bandits and all that? Well, yes, but those can be pretty much only found in the Cave of Wonders of Agrabah. I don't know why they did that, but in the, you know, actual town of Agrabah, you can find some lovely spirit shards from the soldiers and the large bodies, and the mithril shards are found in the pot spiders. Now, you could also find, you know, barrel spiders and, let's see, in Neverland. You know, that's perfectly fine if you want to go there too, to find some mithril shards. That's cool, but, you know, this is just a place where, you know, all of them are in the somewhat same area, so, there you go. Moving on to the next area. Bye. And we are back with, power shards this time. And, oh dear, it was light. You probably couldn't even see the text. Well, anyway, power shards can be found from Power Wilds and Bouncy Wilds, which can be found in Deep Jungle, except for the Bouncy Wilds. I have no idea where those are. I'm not sure if I'm looking in the wrong place or what, but I can't find them anywhere, so all I can find right now are Power Wilds, and Power Wilds can be, you know, found around the tent area and where you fought Clayton and the Stealth Sneak. So that's where you can find them. It should also be noted that you need, from scratch, you need 23 power shards in order to complete the entire synthesis list, which is huge compared to everything else. I mean, some it only takes like 5, maybe the max for some is like 10 or 15. It takes 23 for, you know, power shards. I don't know why that particular item, but it kind of is, so, you know, that's why it is. And I don't know why I didn't include this along with the Bright Shard area, but, you know, I just kind of, maybe it was because there's 23 power shards and I needed to state that in its own certain section of the video. I don't know, but yeah, that's where you found them. That's where you find them, in the Deep Jungle. Obviously, I don't think you could really find them anywhere else except for maybe Monstro or something. Maybe that's where the bouncy wilds are. I have no freaking clue. But yeah, that's it for power shards. Just go between these two areas a lot until you have like 23. Then you should be good. Okay. Okay, so Lucid Gems, or no, not Lucid, Lucid Gems. I've always said Lucid for some reason, but it's really Lucid Gems. Anyway, this is where you get it. You get it from Halloween Town, from White Knights and Gargoyles, which are found practically everywhere, especially in this one area right here. This is supposed to be Oogie Boogie's mansion, but it's really like the mansion remains, basically. And you can actually find a couple of treasure chests right down here where the guillotine is, so, you know, pick those up. But, yeah, basic stuff. You get Lucid Gems from Gargoyles and White Knights, and they are found everywhere in Halloween Town. And I think this is one of the hot spots, if not this place, the place before it, like the gate, and it has like the search ghost, and there's also another river, and it leads to some place, but yeah. On to the next one. I get that from my my Pokemon stream. Oh yeah, by the way, this is like a week after I started editing the first few little sections of this guide, so you can tell that I have not had the time, so sorry if this is taking forever, but it's a fucking tedious process, and homework just likes to kick me in the ass, so there. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to stick around Hollow Bastion and look for shadows. And you might be thinking, well, aren't shadows found everywhere? Not anymore, not after Hollow Bastion. After you seal the Hollow Bastion Keyblade, shadows are actually pretty scarce, and they've been replaced with stuff like Dark Balls and all that. But the one place that I could find them was in this exact area, in the graveyard in Halloween Town. And to my knowledge, this is the only place you can find them after you seal the Hollow Bastion Keyblade. If anybody else knows a good place to find shadows, so I can, you know, put an annotation somewhere, please feel free to let me know. But as far as I know, this is the only place after Hollow Bastion where you can find shadows. So, yeah. Okay, so now we're getting Blaze Gems, and these can be found, again, in Agrabah from the Bandits and Fat Bandits. And you can't really find these guys in, you know, the main town of Agrabah. You have to make your way into the Cave of Wonders, and then you'll find these guys. And in this video alone, I didn't really showcase where you can find them very well, because in these first two little caves or whatever, you don't really find a lot of them. You just find, you know, a few, along with some not gargoyles, but wyverns and wizards and whatever. But there's this one spot, like where you sealed the keyhole in Agrabah, and like the treasure room before that, you're gonna find a lot of them. You're gonna find like bandits coming out of the sand, fat bandits on like the 4 stone things that are around the room. You're gonna find a lot of them, so definitely check that place out before this place. But just know that Fat Bandits and Bandits are in the Cave of Wonders in Agrabah, and you should be fine. Alright then.